Welcome everybody to episode 17 of an LPL English podcast. I'm joined by K-Man and Mazel to talk about whatever just happened in the last week of some Chinese League of Legends, all things Chinese League of Legends around the world, and finals weekend coming up soon here, guys. And as a little bit of a sneak preview, these are also a lot of people you're going to be seeing in the last 2 days of the playoff season. So, K-Man, how's the season been, and maybe some quick thoughts on what this playoffs has kind of been?
Season's been incredibly fun. The playoffs have been crazy. I mean, again, we'll talk about it. It's the craziest playoffs I can remember, but what that really translates to is somehow we've kind of ended in the spot that we all thought we were going to be in like 2 months ago. Top Esports is going to MSI. BLG are making a bit of a run right now. If you would have told me that this was happening in April, I would have believed you. But, with the last month and a half, I really started to doubt, and yet we end up at the same result.
The last time I remember something like this crazy, like outright in my memory at least, was like the LNG Miracle Run to try to make it. The one that they did make, but then the next year as well, where they barely didn't make it through the regional tournament. But this split has been insane. I think some of the storylines have been some of the best that we've had. We've had a lot of newer faces, which is really awesome. Some journeyman players that are actually like making a stake to like be a long part of the league in terms of its history and story, which has been really cool. And I think we didn't have that as often over the last couple of years for LPL, so it's been really nice to see kind of changing of the guard, and especially what we have going into Group Ascend next split, which is going to be insane. And I do wonder what some of the teams are going to be looking like for that. But I think with the regular season, how it kind of panned out for majority of the part for expectations in the top 4, top 5. But then as well as that kind of crazy run in the playoffs, it's been a heck of a split for LPL so far.
I want to just address somebody that was in our YouTube comments. I'm not going to let you get away with this.
Just outright.
There's some people, maybe it was YouTube comments. Now that I'm thinking
Put
about it for
blast.
like more than 5 seconds, I'm pretty sure it's actually my Twitter comments. Someone was complaining that, all the results are the same. It doesn't matter. Why did we play a regular season and then do these playoffs just for BLG to still end up it just ends the same anyway. BLG makes the finals and they're going to win. So it doesn't matter. And I'm like,
it's about the journey, man.
Yeah. Even if WE go 0-6 in these last 2 series versus Top Esports and then BLG,
they were
how
there.
we got here
That's all that matters.
is so important. Yeah.
It's one of the greatest lower bracket runs we've ever seen in LPL. It is far dominant than other performances we've seen, and it's a cool storyline. And while yes, BLG wins everything, I still have them as completing the golden road this year. Hush, hush, knock on wood. It's good to see a good team do cool things, and I feel like it's lost on people. Damn, we have a good team. Shouldn't have one of those. I like it.
I do think this is something you experience a lot in fandom in general, is just exhaustion.
Getting one guide, the one guy in chat room.
Well, that too. That too. Hey, trust me, no one gets one guide more than me. I am 100% the most guilty of getting one guide in my comment sections. But I will say, something that I think has become more common in the league community has been this exhaustion towards teams that constantly find success, and this wanting of new blood. I am enamored by great gameplay, by great League of Legends. I don't really care if that comes from WE or BLG. I just want to see fun games. I want to see competitive action. And if you're watching BLG play these games, these chaotic, messy, skirmish-heavy, fight-oriented games, and you're not entertained, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're an incredibly fun team, and they're good. It's the perfect combination.
And just a little last point. It's not like we haven't had our fair share of cool stories with newer players, right? I think that's the coolest thing is we have had a lot of players who maybe we've seen around for a while having some of the best splits they've ever had in their career. We have new faces, rookies who are actually making big splashes, and holdovers from last year that we were really excited for, that some panned out and some didn't, but it's not like it's the old guard all the time.
And okay, I think I and a lot of people here have maybe a different view for multiple different reasons. A lot of us kind of live and breathe a lot of LPL. We're watching constantly. There's some fans who, again, only show up for their team, completely fine with that. There's some players or some people who only watch for playoffs. They come in and they're like, okay, don't really care about regular season. Oh, JDG is the 3rd seed. Okay, cool. Like, I'm just going to watch my boys and I'll see what happens. I'm really a big fan of like Honkyu, or I really love Jackie Love. Cool. They came in as a 2nd seed or like a 3rd seed. Awesome. I'm really excited about that. I want to watch what my team does in these best of 5s because these are the only games that matter to me as a fan. But the journey is so important, and that just means that it is really, really pivotal for people like us, people like Nymera and Kitty and Jamada and all the different LPL co-streamers to get these storylines right from the regular season consistently, and maybe not even just co-streamers, but K-Man like yourself, people who are making YouTube content as well, to get all of these things right so that when they show up to these big best of 5s, they go, hey, what has been the through line so far? And this is like a great segue into a subject we were talking about last week with Cubby and Grapes, which is the perception or how much depth do fans actually get to have when the LPL is playing at a time zone that is usually not super conducive to a Western audience. And look, complain meta has been OP. The 2 most globally unnerfed metas in the universe are lying meta and complain meta. I complained about nobody wanting to watch LPL, and suddenly with WE, thank you for the boost in viewership, we got multiple different people across the space making specific videos or specific content on these teams, and at all different levels. K-Man, obviously, I'm like, oh man, I have K-Man on the show. I could have also included him, but I just want to include people who are not, I wouldn't say not endemic to LPL, because K-Droll doesn't really stream LPL ever since last year, halfway through. Yamato definitely has been streaming a lot more of the LPL games, but Shinnok was the most roundabout way to get back to maybe a subsect of fans that are not always in the LPL timeline.
I think the worst part is, and maybe I don't know, whatever, consistency maybe king. Depend, like, I don't think it would have changed if we ran it for another 6 months, let alone what we did run it for. But we even tried to do restreams for people, and it was getting like 100 viewers. And like, it's not, I know people like to complain when there's no other out, saying like, oh, it's at the bad time. Oh, if it was at better times, I would watch it. I don't think that's the case either. And I just think it's funny because, and that's been the problem with LPL even since the official broadcast. We had conversations about this literally every split. It's like, what does the audience want? Okay, we gave them something they said they wanted. The viewership did not pan out. We can't do that thing anymore. Let's move on to the next thing. And I think it's just one of those things that there's always something that the audience is going to say they want that, if it gets executed, isn't accepted in the way that they said they would. So I think it's difficult for LPL as a whole, not only just a fan project like this.
And let's be clear. This is like, I mean, as much as it is an LPL issue, this is a conversation that can be brought to any region. And yet somehow LPL is always the target of the conversation, when it doesn't, like, to me, if you're going to point out that, oh, people are doomed because of the time zone for the LPL, while I do think that's true, I think it really just comes down to making sure that we have interesting storylines to watch. And this year, it's been awesome. I mean, if you're not watching the LPL, you're missing everything, right? Like, I truly, like, again, I'm not to plug myself too much. As someone who does cover every region, it's no question what the best league in the world in terms of enjoyment and entertainment value has been in 2026. There is no conversation. It's been the LPL. I think everybody who's kind of stuck around has figured that out. And, you know, I think that naturally content that's good rises to the top. I think we've seen that with every league.
I'm just excited. I'm glad we have, like, I kind of feel for the fans because, you know, they come in and they're like, okay, BLG is 1, Top Esports 2, and then, like, you know, like, where's AL, where's JDG? And they're like, okay, well, now these teams are out, right? And they come in and they're like, okay, I come and view an LPL playoffs, and I'm like, well, BLG's going to the finals, or they're in the lower bracket. That's really exciting. That's like the paradox of the fan. They want the very best gameplay at all times, but they want the most exciting upsets every single series. And maybe as another tie-in to last week and a more global topic, with the prevalence of gambling, prediction markets, whatever, there's more money now on the line for people. So now there's more vitriol. There's more like intrinsic value that people who are watching the games want to have.
Isn't gambling great?
No.
No.
For
No.
folks that watched,
it's not.
You can get me, Cubby, and Grapes' opinions on gambling from last week.
And I would bet that
so
Mazel
much
and I
getting in.
agree. I would bet we're all on the same page when it comes to that.
But all the negatives aside, I'm just glad that there are people watching. I'm glad that there are people who are staying tuned and they want to see this lower bracket run. They want to see if WE can make an international, because then everything's out the window. Then we have complete chaos. That means the finals is even more of a banger. There's a lot going in. So I'm thankful for WE for doing this, but I think we would have also had a lot of different ways of like generating hype if BLG had gone on maybe a different run. And who knows if the lower bracket is any different, right? Like maybe if WE go down there, they still do the same thing. They still beat JDG. They still beat AL in there. So either way, I think it would have been really, really cool to see.
I
gotta have some
agree.
fun.
I think this playoff run has been fantastic. I think anybody who's tuned into that has understood that. I think the quality of entertainment has been at an all-time high. I think when you get dragged down by I want X or Y team to win, that can sometimes, cloud a fan's vision. We're all guilty of this. We all have fandom, and we all, like certain things. And when teams that we don't want to win, we can get a little more frustrated. But objectively, when you look at these games, when you look at the way the bracket is broken down, it's been awesome. We're going to talk about it a bit more later, but like you just mentioned it, like WE still is alive. Like they're top 3. It's not, they're playing BLG and it's cooked. It's one best of 5. And hey, if we've learned anything from the LPL playoffs so far, anyone can win one best of 5. Anyone.
I will say though, and I said it before when Top Esports was playing WE, I'm going to need BLG to shut shit down, bro. Like, just get in there, finish the job. Easy does it. Let's go ahead and send our best 2 teams to MSI. It'll be a great time. They get through the plans. They don't even have to play any of those crazy games. Just finish the job. All right.
We don't have to play any
That's
playing games. We don't have to play any playing games anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want my best 2 teams to not have to play play-ins and be straight there in the group. It'll be a good time. WE will get a chance in like 4 years. Something.
Damn.
Again.
Who knows? But one of the teams going international, we have our first representative, Top Esports. I'm maybe shocked to see that my 10% out of my 90-50-10 is the first one that gets proven, but there we go, I guess. Top Esports are making MSI. Thank you, Tien, for making the promise come true. And this series did not feel particularly close.
That's the crazy thing. It's like Tien, Jackie Love, come back into the league, say what's up, let's go international. All right, we're back, baby. Like that's all they needed,
This was a good series, man. Like Top Esports smurfed the shit out of this one. I was really, really impressed. Like Tien had a really solid game. I think the closest one for me was game 1, watching the Trundle matchup. I was like, I could maybe see something a little bit different. Fungyue extremely stepped up. I think the quality of this player continues to level up week on week. And people who got him in an all-pro ballot are really feeling very, very vindicated for his performance so far.
I've been very vocal about the Fungyue hype train. When this team was like really struggling in the middle of the split, like when Cream and Tien weren't really playing up to their own standards and you started to see that drop in terms of quality, you watch those games and you're like, man, Fungyue is the best player on this team. Like there were definitely times where that was a reality. I think he has really become a versatile, valuable player for this team. I think he was excellent. I mean, let's not forget, Arha going into this series was on fire. I mean, he was awesome against On, and he destroyed Kyle. Like, the support gap in both of those series was huge. He clearly was very motivated to make this playoff run, and Fungyue basically did that right back to him in this series. It was a really impressive performance. Certainly not the only player on Top Esports to play well. Cream was a menace in this series. I think he was the best player on the Rift, but TES in general just controlled so much.
They should have so much firepower. I love some of the interconnecting plays that we've seen from them occasionally in the regular season, but we've seen a lot more of it here in the playoffs, which has been really, really cool. And again, like you're saying, like some of the not lesser members, but lesser known members stepping up. But I just can't keep away from glazing specifically Tien, Jackie Love as well. He's had some crazy ones, but Tien has been a monster in the jungle, which is the rightful place for a guy that has been that for the LPL and so many other splits.
I was looking at this for specifically for this slide. I was like, wow, they've only been to MSI once, which is crazy, and it was with 3/5 of the same roster.
Yeah.
Like, we've got Cream, we've got Jackie Love, we've got Tien. Like, it just we had to pull him back from Weibo real quick, get him out of the
That's what I'm
drain
saying. You just
there.
had to pull the pieces back, reassemble the Avengers. It all works out.
Yeah.
Except, 369 is sitting there probably kicking himself. He's like, damn, man, I could have.
I mean, but I don't know. I'm still waiting for
I'm
whether or
mostly
not
memeing.
Tien is gonna
I'm
come
mostly
back.
memeing.
Yeah,
I hope he
but,
does.
I'm
Tristana's in
excited
their own
about
solo
this
lane
team
now from the last
Oh,
the last time
true.
these guys played
True.
played at MSI. That I'll say. Top lane Tristana is not quite the same as Cream's, but
True.
Um,
Fun stuff though.
I will say, guys, and we'll get into this later. It is Top Esports at an international. See
It
what
is.
happens.
At another
We've got
MSI, which is also where it happened last time.
We got two
which was-
rookies.
I'll say this. We have to set our expectation before we talk about what disappointment looks like. Because if
And that's
they
why
go
we need
top
BLG.
4, if they go top 4 and lose to LCK 2 seed, I'm not calling that a disappointment. Like that to me is not like that's not a, a bad showing. I mean, we'll see. If they win the league, I think obviously things change. If
They already made it to groups at MSI. It's
Let's-
already feeling good. Like I don't know. I don't know
Let's
what
start.
you're saying.
Let's get into that, K-Man. Let's get into
Yeah, please.
what does a disappointing MSI performance entail. So let's take LCK out of it. So let's base our projection to start anyway. Versus LEC, LCS, LCP. Of those three regions, what should Top Esports be looking like?
Anyone other than G2. Anyone other than G2, you should smash. And it starts if you lose to Lion, if you lose to anyone, like if you lose to Furia, who's going to be at the tournament, like literally anyone else, like Secret Whales, like whoever it's going to be, you are disappointing. Like that's it, right? Like there's not a ton to talk about in that
Are
regard.
we sure Furia is going to be in the main stage?
Yeah, they're in main stage, correct?
Are they? No.
yeah.
CBLOL only got one because they got screwed. They got screwed because
But
of
I think their
the
one
LTA.
is in main stage. I think there's 4 teams in the play-ins, and it's LCS, LEC, LCK, and LCP 2, right? And then CBLOL 1 is in main
they are in
Yep.
bracket stage. They are in bracket
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Correct.
Mm.
I thought this is the world situation that I remember them getting screwed on because they
Yeah.
Riot Global just was like, oh yeah, we totally forgot that LTA South because it's gone now. Don't have an additional seat to Worlds. We got to fix that, guys. We may have to fix that for the boys.
All
They
I'm
don't
gonna
even have
say-
to play in play-ins.
No, they don't.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
There's only
they're
4
straight
teams in
yeah.
play-ins. Yeah.
It's just LCS, LEC, LCK, and LCP.
Yep.
Bro, CBLOL's OP. Wait a minute, Brazil. What the hell?
I would give anything to see TN versus Tatu. I mean, really, that's
Me
that's
too.
like a-
Give us the free
that's
win.
a true.
Let's
that's
go.
a 40 kill game waiting to happen.
go,
and I can't
baby.
wait.
Hey, allegedly Tatu's a top 3 jungler in the in the West. So I don't know.
He was pretty good.
I'm a little scared there. You say you're scared about G2, and I want to make a shot at Vedius real quick, because Vedius on the Mind the Gap podcast with Jat was talking about that. Oh, well, we have Top Esports. Like, as long as we have Top Esports at MSI, it's like a free win for us. And I'm like, do you not remember what just happened in October? What happened in that semifinal? What happened in the quarterfinal?
When I'm reminded of Top Esports being an international choker by making the semifinals of Worlds, I'm reminded of it because they beat G2 in the quarterfinals to get there.
Yes.
Like that's the it was free. Like there was no difficulty.
It was
that's
a free
the
O,
level.
yeah.
It was free. Like it was, I will say, very different G2.
True.
Skewmond is probably the best player in the West at this point in terms of the development he's made. He's just completely on fire. I think G2 have some magic going on there. I think their top side is very weak, and I think their bot lane is beatable, especially for Jackie 11 Feng Yue. I would predict top esports in a series against G2, but I think they're close enough where, like, if G2 knocked out top esports, I wouldn't be like, that's the worst outcome that you could have. I think if Lion knocked out top esports, I would be more upset with how that breaks down.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, if top esports lose a series to a Western team, is that really a humongous failure? I mean, we're saying like G2
they've done that
is
so many
the
times.
closest. I know.
Not
And
at
that's,
Worlds.
like,
But
sad part.
Last
I get to if I have my dream scenario, TS can do whatever they want. They could have a great time. We could have like 5-game series. They could lose and come back, lose, come back, whatever they want, because we still have BLG, and like that's where it doesn't matter. Like I'm
not gonna
sitting
beat the
BLG
one-team
as
region, we're not gonna beat the one team region.
we need the Golden Road. My grand theory is the Golden Road revives LPL official broadcast. That I'm holding on my hope. I don't care. I'll scream it from the damn mountaintops. It'll save the LPL. It'll bring it back. They have to pay attention to us. If we win the gold, if we do something that has never been done before, we have to exist as a real region. We have to. They can't discount us. What argument would David Shynock have anymore, huh?
He
It's
did say if they
every
win another
argument.
international that he would start covering them. So if we win MSI,
You know
I'm
what's
down.
funny though is like at what point does it change from like, oh, I don't want a one-team region to I really want to win the Golden Road, because you have to have a one-team region to win the Golden Road pretty much. So you know, maybe it's a sacrifice we're willing to take.
This is always the balance of, like, especially, like, not to make it a more serious conversation, but a lot of people in other regions like North America have had this convo of, like, man, do we want a fun league that's really close domestically where anybody can really win, or do we want a team that actually can win internationally? G2
and then we're gonna
opted
send
for the
Busio
win
to
internationally.
Europe.
Yeah,
We're gonna break up the best NA team probably ever of all time. In terms
NA
of
has
ceiling.
been more competitive domestically this year than it's been in a long time, and that is the trade-off for potentially saying no more super team.
Yeah. How are we feeling about top esports versus what I would consider as our real competition, which is LCK? LCK have not finalized who their last team or their two teams are going to be, but imagine it's going to be some mix of HLE T1 and Gen G. If KT make the run, then KT make the run, but like
True.
But between the four of them, I think I am a little worried about this team versus like an HLE and a T1, because T1 is looking
I think
While
experience is
shaky,
going to be their
yes,
kryptonite.
really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll
I
say
just
this
having
about-
rookies at an international is crazy. Like,
yeah,
like, to give some hope to LPL fans, I think Gen G and T1 are horrible matchups. I think those are going to be, like, just on paper, they're bad. There's bad matchups for TES, the way they like to play the game.
Carrie
these
is
really
going to
fast,
walk
aggressive skirmishes.
the dog
Yeah,
on
I mean,
these
it's
guys. Like,
yeah, really, it doesn't. I mean, Chovy is going to be able to generate a 75 CS lead into Cream in the mid lane. Like, it's just not a favorable matchup. Hanwha Life is top esports in the LCK. Like, they play
And they have
incredibly
Kanavi.
similarly.
they'll
and
let
they have
us
Coach
win.
They do
Homie.
have Kanavi.
Coach
And
Homie
they have
sent
Zenko.
home.
Yeah, they'll let us
Send it
win.
home.
They'll let us
Send it
win.
home.
Easy.
I've said this all year long. HLE can lose to anyone. Like, they can beat anyone. That's very clear. Like, on any given, they could win all of MSI. They could go on, win Worlds, be the best team for the rest of the year. There is not a single day that I go watch Hanwha Life where I'm like, they're definitely going to win today. It's just, you cannot believe that with that team. So, you know, top esports, I think stylistically are actually prepared to take advantage of the mistakes that Hanwha Life make, even if they don't match up as well into maybe the more strategic and teamfight oriented comps that Gen G and T1 like to draft.
all right. Top esports, don't make us sad, make us proud, and for
It's
the
redemption
rookies,
time.
You have no expectations on you. You guys are noobs, and we're excited for your development.
Let Tien and
point.
Daddy Jackie Love carry you to victory.
Yeah. Or carry. Sometimes the old man can get a little
Sometimes-
soft.
True.
I'm okay with that as well. If Feng Yue decides he wants to have a 1v9 performance versus Duro Carrier and whatever North American or European team we throw at them, I'm totally down with that as well. Please do.
It's funny. The last time that
I go to hell.
TS was at MSI, me and Cubby had this like super long conversation about Kareem and how like Cubby was just so dead set that this guy didn't have what it takes at the top level. Like he was not going to be a top level mid lane in his career. So I really hope Kareem does really well this time at MSI, and he can, at least personally for him, he can like compare the two performances and be proud of it.
No humanoid. We're fine. We'll win.
Yeah, last time it was not good. He got
Excited to see them in Daejeon. We'll also have some on-site interview not on-site interview, but we'll have some interview questions, hopefully with Top Esports. I'm really excited to potentially get the chance of being able to interview Tien.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I'm gonna nerd out. That's completely fine.
I gotta, hopefully squeeze in Jackie Love.
Dude, we keep putting you on the Jackie Love interview.
I'm gonna get it one day, okay?
Homie's not there to tank the interviews. He was the GOAT at interview tanking during Worlds when the players did not want to do the interviews, and it was always three of them. There was 3 player interviews mandatory. We'll lift the curtain on this. For every team, they had to do at least 3 interviews with players, and it had to be one from each region, or at least each region that sent a representative from media. It was always random. Technically, we are also a North American entity because we cover it in English and we're a North American brand. So that kind of sucked, but it was literally homie doing. He had one of the days. I think it was one of their last series of either Swiss or the quarterfinals. There was 7 homie interviews in a row, and I was like, they were like, "Hey, high likelihood we don't get to this."
We got one, and he actually did really good. Like he had a great interview, very emotional.
So, thank you to going over to the LCK, and now we can hopefully get an interview with Jackie Love this time for Lennon. That has been
Kanavi, homie, you got us, all right. You just remember.
Taking a bit of a detour, we did have some big LPL offseason rumors come through. So as more teams get eliminated and as we get closer towards MSI and the very small off-season window for free agency and making roster moves, we are starting to get some really cool stuff. So for our audio-only listeners, we have Weibo picking up Crisp again. This seems like it is becoming more and more a reality. He went on his stream personally and spoke about, I'm going to have work, but it's going to be after June. LNG is going to be picking up Hong. All of the Koreans are now gone, so Krako is apparently no longer on this team. Missing is looking to join an Ascend team. We have Bulldog moving over to EDG as Angel finally gets the boot, and Rookie is rumored to be coming back to the lineup over Nya and Renard.
Get somebody in there, man. Somebody needs to get that mid lane. That chair is empty. I expect a lot more changes than this. Just it's funny to see who's going to be in Group Nirvana next split. Chris coming back. He's
Nirvana's a banger, man.
Put me down in Nirvana. Let's see what happens. But I do wonder how many big names are still going to be left in Nirvana, or how much swapping there's going to be, especially with their Nirvana teams that are going to be moving up to Ascend for Split 3. It's going to be really interesting. I expect a lot of shifts in the offseason here.
I think the big question for me is just what do these signal about the rest of the moves that are going to happen? Because I think we actually have so much info on what the direction of these teams are looking like at this point. Chris coming to Weibo signals to me this team still absolutely thinks it can make Worlds. And I get it. I understand why they would think that. If they make playoffs, they can go on the run. You don't bring Crisp in my opinion, unless you really do. You're keeping Elk, you're keeping Xiaohu. You're rolling with a roster that can win.
I think a lot of the teams are probably going to stick with their rosters. Outside of obviously LNG, who are blowing up the whole thing. But Nirvana play-ins going into Split 3 playoffs are going to be insane, because now all of the Group Ascend teams that we're expecting to be bottom of the table or playing in the play-ins are going to have to play so many more games. And it's double round robin, yes, for Nirvana, but there's just less teams.
But only,
so
exactly.
Either is it really going to be double round robin, or is it going to be triple round robin to match the season? I don't know. Personally speaking, you say doubt, but with how many big names, and if Weibo and IG are going to stick
more
with the
games for Nirvana,
they might just make them play more games. Why
I
not?
guess that feels unfair competitively, but for the viewership, yeah, I guess. But man, that like imagine you were in
why not?
Nirvana
They haven't
last.
released any of the details, right?
Yeah, but like if you were in Nirvana last year, like what the hell?
If you can get people to go to Nirvana games, that's money. That's people going to the arena to watch.
The only way you're gonna get to use the IG arena. So
like every time we would have a series and it was like Ultra Prime versus OMG, LNG versus Ultra Prime, or like I know I'm picking on the guys, but like all the Nirvana games, you go to they pan to the arena, or sometimes they don't even pan to the arena. It's empty in there. Now we have IG who have a home arena. It is small, yes, but you're gonna now have Rookie versus Xiaohu in a Nirvana series. It doesn't matter that it's Nirvana anymore. Like, I mean, seriously, this is
the world we live in. Perfect.
That's good.
Yeah. I'd rather see them have more games in Group Ascent, but I could see what your logic for sure.
I mean, it really just depends on if you've... The logical call would be to give them more games, but it's only logical in hindsight. Like, it's really just, do you feel like you can change the format now before the split starts, even though...
Which, again, they haven't told us.
Already, right. I guess technically that's why they haven't announced it. But I do think it's something that would make some sense. I think the games would be fun. I think Nirvana is going to be a bloodbath. I think that's what we're learning, is that I think there are 3 teams in Nirvana. If Rookie is coming back, which at this point, it's not, locked or anything like that. We've heard rumors like this before.
This is the least likely out of all of these.
Right. If Rookie is coming back, then you can basically guarantee that there are 3 teams in Group Nirvana that feel like they can make the regional qualifier. And that's very interesting, right? That instantly makes for, a very fun group format. LNG's obviously blowing up, but, Ninjas in Pajamas, they're not making any changes. They don't need to make any changes. Like, they're not on this graphic because they don't need to be, right? Like, they're still going to be super competitive. IG hopefully will be getting better. Obviously, Rookie coming back, I think will solve some things. His Split 1 form wasn't particularly great, so it's,
there's also just a lot of drama in the background for that, so like I wonder if this is going to be a Rookie who's, hey, I took like 3 months off, now I can like actually focus and not have an ongoing divorce at the same time.
True.
Yeah, I think, and obviously Weibo, for as much as we clown on the support carousel that consistently happens on this team just over and over and over again, the same players rotating in and out, like, they were really good at the end of the regular season, which I think people are going to forget because they're in Group Nirvana. This was looking like honestly, Weibo's form at the end of the regular season was better than AL's. Like, in terms of just what they were as a team. They beat JDG in the final series that they played of the split. You bring
JDG
Crispin,
finished 5th, so...
Yeah, true. The Hank was a liability. Getting Crisp, whatever you want to say about Crisp, right? Like, getting Crisp, a veteran who can just not lose the game in there is fantastic, and I think you're actually
we're going to tank meta, or engage meta.
Exactly. I actually think we're looking at multiple teams in Nirvana that are going to be more than competitive.
The place I wanted to shift this is, what do we, if the rumor that the Koreans are no longer out, currently LNG's roster is Sheer and 1xn and Hong. So what are the mid jungles that are looking possible? I joked that LNG Saber is coming to a home near you. I know Harry.
Yes, sir. Is that for me? Did someone ring of the president of the Saber fan club? Please, Saber's an upgrade over Bulldog. They'd be getting the better mid laner. Like, they would be getting the better end of that deal. I would love that. We say that 1xn's on this roster. We'll see.
I don't think he's moving. Like, Ellen, from what I've seen from the rumors, we were kind of joking, like, okay, he's going to move to IG, but apparently his agent and IG do not like each other, so that's not looking like that's going to be possible. And he's playing in Asia games as a representative for Hong Kong. So unless his agent is making shmoney moves, I think he's just stuck with Hong. And
oh no.
And actually, I think this maybe goes to a bigger discussion, which we can kind of move on after this, is that, like, AL just bombed out of playoffs at 4th again. Does this mean that they're willing to make changes when some of their contracts, and specifically Hope's, is until 2027, the end of 2027?
I think I think that there are a couple of interesting things about like the idea, because we've talked a lot about 1xN to AL or Elk to AL when Weibo got relegated down to Nirvana. The unfortunate thing about the way AL play, they kind of require an AD carry that is going to play weak side. That's just like a part of what they do. Like I worry about bringing 1xN into anyone's Legend and asking him to just be this farming bot that plays Ezreal every game and just is like the fourth option on the team. I feel like you're not going to get what you pay for if you're buying him out of a contract and you're benching Hope, who's contracted till 2027. I like the player a lot. I really don't like the fit. Like, I'm not saying Hope is like the right answer for AL, but I don't think spending a ton of money on these super carry level ADCs is really going to help a team that has done nothing but lose when they play around anyone other than Tarzan.
But maybe they need to change their playstyle. Maybe that helps them get out of that a little bit. But yeah.
My lanes are trash, bro. My lanes are trash. That was it. Just they have not looked the same since last year, and or maybe the unfortunate part is actually they've looked more the same since last year, but they don't have the dominance and they don't have the creative edges to get out of these games. Before we move on to ALJDG, which is going to be our next topic, real quickly, both of you, 2 players to replace this mid jungle for LNG. Go.
Oh boy. Well, Saber. I mean, I actually think there's just no reason for that guy to be homeless right now. I think he is way too good. That would be, oh gosh, I need a jungler. That would be available. I know that people would not be excited about this at all, but maybe the third stop is the charm for Climber. Like maybe that really is just the answer. I think Rio would be another shout, but honestly, Rio was awful at the end of the split. Like, he was mentally
that whole
checked
team
out.
just did not work, bro.
Yo.
I need Moham out of the LPL already. I'm done.
True.
So I'll say Climber and Saber. Just give me the Ultra Prime mid jungle.
Yeah. I think I mean I still I know Bulldogs, whatever. I don't think Angel was a bigger problem. I would love to see Angel still play at least. Yeah. And I would go for one off the top rope. Bring Beichuan out of jail for BLG and get him in there. Because the dude's just gone.
True.
He is just literally gone. He doesn't exist right now. He needs to come back into reality.
Let me counter, actually, one more, if I may, mid-jungle duo. How would we feel about a potential Beichuan-Renard mid-jungle duo
Renard, no,
on
no
LNG?
Renard. No Renard.
Can I sell anyone? If Rookie's coming back, we've got a spot available for Renard.
I'd rather take
both him and Yab failed the Annie check for LPL, so they aren't allowed back in.
And Cream can't play Annie either, and we're still letting him in the
They can
LPL.
play other stuff pretty good. Can they? No, not really.
Yeah has
He had like
20
3
games.
good games. 3 good games.
This is not fair. This is slander for a rookie.
It is slander for Rookie.
I do
it?
want Beichuan to come back. I
want him back, dude.
Beichuan's
Like,
gameplay.
why is he not in the league, man? Like, it's crazy.
He did get scapegoated. To be fair, he got
for
scapegoated for all of BLG's problems. And I don't think it like tanked his reputation amongst like a lot of the other teams, because they're obviously playing and they see all those things. But like, there's a lot of fans who are like, cool, we're excited for Beichuan if he does come back, but he also did like there's so many things that just happened last year for BLG that just I don't think we're right, and I don't know. I'm sad, and I do want to see if he's willing to come back to pro play. Because we don't know where he is other than in Waterboy jail.
On a beach somewhere. Yeah.
To add a little fuel to the fire as well, Beichuan and LNG were heavily linked in the offseason. As like that was one of the big rumors that was going around before a lot of rosters locked, before they settled on Krakow. The big rumor for LNG was Beichuan. So presumably that had to come from somewhere. Maybe the org was already in contact with him. He just ended up not getting it and going in a different direction. So who knows? You know, it certainly would be a fun fit.
Okay, let's look at our next one, which is going to just be ALJDG. Out at 4th and 5th, not an incredible finish. I think If you're a JDG fan, you're coping. You're saying, bro, we played top esports. We played against. We lost the game against TT. We had to play against some random BS in the lower bracket. We had to play against BLG as well. Well, what's going on here?
I mean, I don't think it's cope. I think JDG had to play the 2 best teams in the LPL and they lost. I think it's fair to call JDG the 3rd best team in the LPL still, depending on how you kind of want to view it. And I think they're going to feel pretty frustrated. AL, I am much more concerned about, right? Like, I think their playoff run is significantly worse, in my opinion, just because of the 3-0 to WE and generally the vibe going in. I'm not worried about JDG. I think they're going to be fine moving forward. I think it's just one of those, if you had, like, you could have lost to the same exact teams and gotten 3rd, and we would be looking at this entirely differently.
I guess, but I do feel like the things that have worked for JDG really well throughout this year so far weren't clicking as much. And there were some weird, like, swaps of gameplay between mid and jungle this split that weren't necessarily there in split number 1 in terms of, like, resources and how they played, which I found interesting, and I wonder if they're going to, like, explore that a little bit more, especially with the relationship between Hongkyu and Junjia. But it didn't feel like they had the same innovativeness or like the same energy as they were having earlier into the year, which I hope they get back for split 3.
I don't know about you guys, but this bot lane sucked.
Yeah.
Vampire
had some incredible games though. Like individually, he had some insane games.
They were trash, bro. Like,
Gala believers are hanging on by a thread in 2026.
Dude, he had that one Kaisa game, remember?
He did. He had the one Kaisa game.
That one Kaisa game went really good. Right. He knows how to play Kaisa.
Yeah.
Just awful.
It's tough.
I want to see this team do well. I think that, like, I've really grown on watching like Xiaoqiu and Hongkyu play, but this bot lane is just way too inconsistent for them to be a top level team in my mind. Like, and it's not even like they had, like, I don't want to say they had like the toughest opposition. Like, yes, On and Feather are good, but like they were fine against them, and they even like lost the 2v2 sometimes. Jackie Love and Feng Yue, sure, whatever. You can have that one as a free win, but like Viper and On have been not good. I think they've been okay. They've been really forcing Caitlyn lanes on BLG, and they're still not even like succeeding like consistently enough for me to be really excited. I'm really down on JDG. It felt like I felt this way about AL last year with Tabe, where split 1, they make the finals, and I was like, okay, that's really good, but like I kind of want to see an evolution, and I didn't really get that. I just thought that the jungle meta in split 2 was ridiculous. And obviously then we got to see Tarzan, I think, play one of the best individual jungle games of all time in a grand finals on the Zed. So it's like, sure, you got bailed out, I think, that your jungler just happened to be the best player in the tournament at that time. And then they went to MSI and they had an okay run. But, like, this team has not, I think, evolved adequately enough in my mind to really do much more. And they're going to be fine in terms of regional qualifier points, but I think I'm probably less excited, or it is less likely in my mind that AL are going to go very far unless some big things happen.
I think the lack of like continuity of what they did really well and the consistency that they were bringing from last year bothers me for AL so much, and it's kind of heartbreaking because it's like pieces are the same. That doesn't happen very often in the LPL, it feels like, and it's really cool when it does. But there was, going into the year, there was when we were watching them play, there was a very easy to define lack of kind of cohesion and game strategy and game. It felt like everyone had individual pieces, but it wasn't really coming together. And then you started seeing those memories of Tarzan and Kael reuniting and having those crazy games where they're just oppressive in the jungle, and it's awesome to watch, and those kinds of flow states are really cool for AL. But it just feels like sometimes they get lost in the sauce. They don't really know what to do in mid game, and it feels really bad for a team that has been so controlling in the past when they've been so good, when they've won their first championship last year. And it sucks to see kind of like that fire go out a little bit in AL. I hope either they make some changes or maybe the coaching staff is a little bit different going to Split 3 because I think something needs to change.
I want to piggyback a little bit off your point and off a point I made earlier because I think they pair up pretty well here, where we talked about like, oh, do they need a new AD carry? Do they need to bring in another lane that can win here? Kyle this year has been one of the worst laning supports in the league. Full stop. Like his 2v2 gameplay has been horrendous. It is truly not been playable. And I think that it really is a problem that I think is getting exposed more now, just how inflexible this team is, how unable to adapt they are to really anything other than what they are really good at. They want to get Kyle on Bard, and they want to move him around the map, and they want to get playmakers so they can get Tarzan super fed so that he can start taking skirmishes around these neutral objectives, and now you have vision control, and now you know what you're supposed to do. This team from neutral is bad. Like, it's not just, oh, if they don't have a lead, or if, like, they're really far behind, or if their lanes are losing. You watch games where it's, like, even gold at 20 minutes, they have no clue what to do. Like, they just do not understand this meta at all. And I don't know who to blame that on. I think Tarzan's playing phenomenal.
Carries are just trash, man. Like,
I mean, I agree.
Flandra and Shanks are so...
Yeah, they were bad.
Like, oh, man.
They were bad in the playoffs. I mean, obviously,
Flandra's going to go
even,
great. But, like, yeah.
It's tough. Shanks was awful in the playoff run. I mean, he
bring
was
back
really,
the cooking. I need more. I need more crazy.
They're just so out of meta. Like I don't think it's that simple, but like they're out of meta and they're incapable of changing. Like it just seems like they are exactly what they are. They're a team that's going to beat you if they can get big leads because they're better than you hands-wise, and if they can't do that, then they're not going to compete.
I think the only way this team is going to win, and if there's no roster changes, no coaching staff changes, then I would like to see them just say, like, Flandra, play whatever you want top lane. Like, play the wacky tanks top lane, try your alternative builds, especially in a regular season, just to get reps on it and see what ends up happening, because I think the only way this team is going to get wins consistently enough in big series versus better teams is playing stuff that other teams have not really practiced up against. Like, how many games has Weon and them played against, like, Sejuani top? How many of them are playing against things like it doesn't exist anymore in the same way, but he's not been a very good GP player, but I think GP is still really good in this meta if we're talking about like tank top laners and being able to play against.
Where I appreciated the Shen when he was like bringing that out.
Yeah,
like,
but like even
it just wasn't up to that level.
The Shen Pantheon game from BL. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think even digging less on the surface, there are picks that are like flex some of your mid laners up there. This guy plays Anivia. This guy plays Cassiopeia. Like he can function on these. He's been spamming Yasuo.
The TF too.
Like anything like this. Like just give him the ability to carry because he's good. He's been playing Lee Sin top. Like, this is the value that Flandra provides. You can early pick a Lee Sin, and if you don't like the game state for him to be able to try and take over pre-10 minutes, you can flex him top lane, play a different engage-style jungler, and now you've got a very scary skirmish comp. So, yeah, I agree with you. Use his talent, man.
They lost it. They lost the fire.
If anybody wanted a small recap on these series, the AL one was probably the most disappointing to watch. Just massive gold lead throws. Game 2 involved a Lucian Melio game from AL's bot lane, and they invaded bot side with Nefiri. They get this massive, like, 2,500 gold lead at 9 minutes for Lucian. He finishes his first item, and it's versus a Senna Alistar. They should by no means lose this game, and they get caught multiple times. Like, I saw Should make this
BLG's
incredible
macro
play
is insane.
Around the bottom side, around the dragon, where he, like, ward hop Lee Sin kicks a Cassante into his team. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? But they burst Flandra, they kill him immediately, and then it's like, oh, well, Hope actually can't play the game now. It's like, oh, well, game's kind of over. I was really disappointed with the form that we saw, the insane goal differences that we saw them throw against BLG in Game 1, Game 2 were just...
Scion Jace.
I had a front row seat. Hooray.
Very, very disgusting gameplay in my mind, and if this is the form, regional qualifier spots are up for grabs, ladies. Good luck. Good luck to the rest of the teams. Maybe the Nirvana teams, they can... Look, Weibo's like, good dude, we got 3rd place in the first season. Like, the first split, we have so many points. We're so good.
Because
We're
we
chilling
made
now.
Split 1 matter more for some reason.
Look, Split 1 has to matter because First Stand is not a real tournament. So, gotta do
play
something
for
there.
something.
Gotta play for something there. Our last topic before we look at both the bracket and our finals weekend is going to be our top 3 here. BLG Top Esports. Not surprised. It is WE
One of these
who are
things
gonna
is
be
not
playing.
like the other.
They're going to be playing the day before the finals versus BLG, and then obviously TES is waiting for whatever the winner of that series is. But, gentlemen, looking at these series, we'll just look at BLG and WE first. How are we... Lennon, I think I know your answer to this question.
What is the question? How are we feeling?
What should fans be looking for? What do you think is the outcome of this event?
Oh, I think I hope we get 5 games in finals. I think the WE series is 3-0, but I think it's BLG 3-2 in the finals. And I think it's going to be a really fun series just because, first of all, maybe I'm a little BLG biased, but the solo lanes have been really fun to watch and been stepping up, and I want to see if Top Esports can do the same because we have seen Cream give Knight a run for his money sometimes, occasionally. But for me, I always really love seeing 2 of my favorite junglers go at each other. I hope that's the case. I mean, WE still has some crazy possibilities, but I really hope we get to see another edition of TN versus Shin.
I agree. I mean, I don't think WE has a chance. I mean, maybe they do. I mean, they've already beaten BLG once, but like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can give you optimism in saying that like anyone can win a best of 5. I talk about this all the time.
True.
It's the reason that when people talk about, oh, this team did well internationally, but this team did well domestically, I'm not going to sit there and for sure tell you that the domestic matters more, but like large sample size matters for a reason, right? Like when you are playing over multiple patches for a long period of time, you get a pretty clear understanding of what teams look like. You sit down on one day, Knight has a sore elbow, and all of a sudden he's like a little bit worse, and anything can happen, right? That being said, if this isn't a 3-0 with BLG being extra mad for how things went in round 1, I would be surprised. This seems like a team that's been on a warpath to not just win the split like they're supposed to, but say like, oh, we got kind of slapped in the face a little in round 1. Like, that's not, we're going to show people.
And then we did 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah. I mean, they've lost 1 game after that in the playoffs, and it's to JDG, who took them to 5 in the previous playoffs. So, like, it just is, like, it is what it is. I think Top Esports is good enough to take a game, for sure, off of BLG. I think they are good enough to take it to 5. I think they have to prove that they can beat BLG in a best of 5 before I believe they can beat BLG in a best of 5.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm down to have egg on my face. And if W win, awesome. There goes our MSI hopes, but awesome. It's a great storyline. The fact of the matter is, though, for me, this is like fully Ghidorah meme style right now, where like it's the really serious face, the angry face, and then the kind of face with the eyes that go all over the place. It'd be a really cool story, and I'm here for it if it happens. But I would very much like to see BLG and Top Esports go to international.
I know.
Very quickly, I just want to say this. WE can go 0-3 in this series, and they're the biggest
100%.
winners of the playoffs of all
100%.
time. Like, that is the fun part for them. They have nothing to lose in this series. They could get obliterated in sub 25 minutes in 3 straight games, and there's just no competition. And everyone would be like, yeah, if they take a game, if they push it to 5, oh my god, do you know the kind of atmosphere and energy that would bring? I'm hoping for it, but like, they really have no, like, there's no chip on their shoulder. BLG have everything to lose in that series.
Yeah, Maybe I'm just hopeful for WE, man. Like, I don't think that BLG have made relevant enough changes to how they play, and WE were doing the same things that I think they would have done versus BLG, or they did do versus Billy, that they did against AL and that they did against Top Esports. They're still a jungle-led team. They're still going to walk up to an objective, even if it's slightly bad for them, and they're going to face them. And for all of our casters that have been trying to convince me that BLG's macro has improved, I'm still watching this team go up to an objective and it's like, hey man, we didn't set up our side lanes, or like waiting for Knight to TP into a play, and we're kind of making a lot of the same mistakes. It's not like our laning is the best. I think Viper and On have been a very big liability for this team, as I've consistently said throughout this playoffs. I'm not convinced that BLG have at all evolved in a way that is going to make them much scarier. I think what is most important on the day for them is having the confidence and having what is going to be every single fan in chat is going to say, which is just plot armor. They're coming in as the first seed. They're coming in as a 9-1 team after their loss versus WE. This entire run, WE are coming off of a loss. Like, momentum does matter, but I just think that when they get into the server and they're playing and you're going up against Knight, you're going up against Bin, or the intangibles is the weight of the narrative going to be too heavy for WE to win.
The only counterpoint I'll make, just as I agree with you that I don't think BLG have fundamentally changed. One of the biggest issues to me they had in round 1 is it's not just a lack of disrespect on the Rift. Look at the drafts they gave WE. They gave them everything that they play. Everything.
The Akali game was crazy to me. I was like,
it was as a viewer, and I'm sure everyone can kind of agree with this. I came out of that series going, oh, BLG didn't prep for WE. They just didn't.
Correct.
Like, they didn't do draft prep. They didn't think about what a Game 4 was going to look like in Fearless. They didn't even try to plan out a series, because I think they just thought they were so much better mechanically that they could win with any draft. Like, they get comfort, and they're like, oh, it doesn't matter what they're playing. I don't care that they're playing all their best champions. But the whole series is WE playing the only things that they have been successful on throughout this split. I just don't think that's going to happen again in lower finals. I do think BLG will have learned their lesson. I think that will be the biggest difference.
The thing I'll take away from this is, I know we got the really cool entrance for the players of WE, and like you could tell, like the smiles on their faces were awesome. Like, it was so cool to see. And now they made it to the lower bracket finals, which is going to be even more hype, and there's going to be more crowd. There's more people that are motivated to see how the story ends. I think personally for like these players, it's going to be a really cool moment for a lot of them that haven't gotten a lot of those big spotlight moments, and you just got to soak it in.
I want to hear the monkey pre-game ritual. I
Yeah.
want to hear him hype up the boys, like, hey, trust in yourselves. We got to this point for a reason. Trust and maybe steal or use some of the Griffin speech, like, don't believe in you, believe in me. All right,
Yeah.
believe in the me that wants to win this badly. I wanna prove BLG wrong. I want to prove Top Esports wrong. I want to make it to a finals. I want to make it to an international. That would be, I think, too legendary to give up. So I want to believe in WE, but my predictions would do very, very well if I got my 90-50 and they just went 6-0 in the weekend. That would be crazy, man. That would be legendary. And Top Esports, as we kind of like crest towards the end of the show, Top Esports versus really either of these teams versus WE. I think it's a free first pace if they do make it, but maybe with what WE show versus BLG, I'm willing to change my prediction on that. But if it's against BLG, I do favor BLG to win that. I have seen this series way too many times for me to feel like Top Esports are going to be able to change anything. And it's a bit cursed, I think. Every single time I see Jackie Love in a finals versus another team, specifically against BLG and against Knight, I'm just like, it's doomed. I remember that I think it was 2024 watching them play, and I was like, okay, Top Esports, like, come on, can we deliver? No. All right, well, okay, man. That's great. Last year, Split 3 finals, I was like, Jackie Love's looking like the best bot laner in the league, and we still can't win versus Night Elk. Okay, well, game's over. So
took him to 5.
Did go to 5. Did go to 5 that time,
True.
at least. But I feel bad for Jackie.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Jackie's the best AD carry left in the tournament. So I think that's it. You know, anything can happen if you get your carry fed. I think Top Esports has a chance to beat BLG. I certainly wouldn't say that it's like if Top Esports walked out of this finals as champions and as the number 1 seed and as a team that's going to MSI with a lot of confidence, that would be far from the most shocking thing that could happen this weekend. I certainly feel that. You mentioned the 2 matchups against these 2 teams. WE can't play into top esports. No. TN just invades Monkey on loop, on repeat, invades him at level 1, invades him at level 4, fights him around every crab. It's just unplayable. It's Monkey's biggest kryptonite. The moment he gets invaded by an enemy jungler, he instantly loses the game. Shun doesn't do that. He just power farms a little more aggressively in the early game. So for WE's sake, I think they're hoping for 2nd place here.
All right, well, one last look at our playoff bracket before we send everybody off. We are looking at our top 3. For anybody at home, the time schedule is going to be on the 13th and the 14th, so coming up soon. Remember, 2 a.m. PDT. Do your own local conversions where you need to be. I'm excited. We've got the last 2 days before we send off 2 teams to MSI, Daejeon, Korea. Gentlemen, I really can't. What else is there to really say? We've been excited about this playoff bracket. We talked about the massive upsets. We looked at how incredible this run has been, but maybe things just do have to end, and maybe the fans are right. Maybe it really is just BLG is the best team in the LPL, and they continue to be number 1, and we're gonna just see them go off into the sunset with another trophy. But would be cool to see something different, please. Please.
Stop it, Alk. Stop.
Please.
Stop. No.
They can still
the
go.
Golden
just
Road
as a
would be
2-seed.
nice. The Golden Road would be nice, but
Bring back the LPL.
I don't know.
Make
I don't
us
think anything's
matter.
gonna save, and nothing's gonna save this official broadcast, I think.
Unfortunate.
So, K-Man, where can people find you? This is the part of the show where you get to do our plugs.
Yes. You can find me multiple places. You can find me here on YouTube at Super K-Man Rocks. Highly recommend you check that out. I am currently posting 7 days a week for basically every region across the world with their
That's going to be
playoffs.
coming to an end soon.
Yes.
True.
And then MSI starts, and it's back to 7 days a week.
True.
So, we cover everything all year long. Every major region game is covered on the channel. Highly recommend you check it out if you love the LPL. We cover the LPL as well, alongside me casting.
No
That and
way.
the Twitter at Super K-Man
Do
Rocks,
we?
so. Oh, we do.
We do.
That's crazy. You can find me MazelleCast on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. You can go catch us at LPL English, which is awesome. I'll be casting the lower bracket finals, and I'll be on desk for the finals. It'll be a great time. And there's going to be top plays of the playoffs coming out tonight, so make sure you go check that out, which will be probably the day before when we post this. So go check that out, and go check out the last 2 days of LPL.
It's going to be exciting. Got a lot of cool stuff. Again, 13th and 14th, 2 a.m. PDT. Make sure you guys have that on your calendars. There's a lot of different things going on. I know there's a ton of different playoff games. There's going to be LCS. I know LCK are also playing multiple series back-to-back, multiple different qualification in their road to MSI. LEC obviously just wrapped up, so we're going to have all of our MSI representatives by the end of the week done. And it's going to be really, really exciting to see who's going to be heading over to South Korea. But thank you, everybody, for joining us on episode 17 of an LPL English podcast. Remember, you can follow us on LPL English, LPL_English on Twitter and Twitch, as well as YouTube. Make sure you're staying tuned. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. There's no other things. I don't have to do an Elite Coffee supporter read.
Go to Coffee.
Go to Coffee. Yeah, spam likes.
Hype feature, whatever that is.
Yeah, use the hype. Comment.
Hype button.
Let's get to 200,000 Twitch followers in 1 week.
True. We did hit 100K on the Twitch channel, which was very cool. But thank you again, and we're going to have another episode of the podcast going into MSI and the end of playoffs, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Have a great night, everybody, and thank you again for joining us.